take us back to the beginning. How did you discover your passion for acting?
Yeah, I grew up in Arkansas and was doing theater in school actually. And I always loved like the theater, class. And at first it was kind of just a class just to hang out with friends and goof around and have some fun. And then the more I kind of got into it, I really started enjoying it more. And then at one point I was in the car with my grandma or my mom or someone, and something came on the radio and was like, do you want to be an actor for Disney and Nick and whatever? And I was like, yeah, I do. And so, I kind of just went to this convention in LA, and my parents were like, if this is really what you want to do and really what you want to put your time and energy into, then, we'll support it and we'll help you make it work.
When you look at your career as a whole, who or what's had the biggest influence, either personally or professionally?
I mean, personally, my family is like everything to me, and the support that they've had through me with everything, and also just like, keeping being level-headed and keeping a nice head on my shoulders and staying humble and all that, I think has helped, tremendously. And I wouldn't even be in the position I'm in without my brother's help. He's kind of the one that, kind of helped me get started with acting, and the fact of he's the one that paid for basically me to be able to come to California and be able to come, for all that, all this money he had saved up throughout his life, he kind of used to help me, come out to California and try acting. And so him personally, and just my entire family, like every one of them being so supportive. And then professionally, just kind of like people that I've worked with, and relationships I've created in, in the industry with friends and, producers and directors, and just, people I've been cast with. And just, I think that's so important, is to create, good friendships, and especially with people you work with. I think it's just such a great thing to have a great relationship and friendship with those people.
And you've had a lot of success already in your young career. When you look back, is there a particular moment that stands out to you?
I feel like the first like kind of bigger TV thing I had done was, where I was like a recurring role, was a show for Nickelodeon called Belle and the Bulldogs, and that was kind of for me almost a turning point in kind of my, short acting career thus far, just because um, when my mom and I first moved out to California, we had said we're going to give it 2 years, and if nothing, substantial happens in 2 years, we'll go back to Arkansas and figure out what's next. And it had been almost 2 years, and I had done little things here and there, but then I think it like a couple months before the 2 year mark, we were like getting ready to be like, hey, are we going to go back to Arkansas? Are we going to stay out here? Like, what's the deal? And then I booked Belle and the Bulldogs, and that was, a pretty big role for me at the time, and still is. Like, I'm still great friends with that entire cast, and all the producers and crew, and everyone there was so amazing. But I loved that experience so much, and not only just because at that time I was like, okay, this is what I'm meant to do. Like, it's, this is what happened right before I was going to go back to Arkansas, but also just like I learned so much through that process, and through that show, and I hold that very near and dear to my heart.
And you're currently one of the stars of High School Musical, the musical, the series, and season two is just about to premiere. What can fans expect from this upcoming season?
This season is beyond good. Like, it is so good. I can't even express how good it is. Like, season one was great, and we're all so proud of it, and I'm super super proud of it. But this season kind of takes it to the next level and kind of steps it up a bit. And whether or not you've seen season one, you haven't seen season one, you were a fan of season one, you were kind of a fan, you weren't a fan, I really do think you're gonna love season two. There is something for everyone, and I said that about season one, but even more so this season. We have more characters, there's more music, there's more numbers, there's more dancing, there's more storylines, there's more drama, there's just more everything, and it is so good, and I cannot wait for people to see it. I can't wait to see it. Like, I'm just as big a fan of the show as I feel like some of the fans themselves are.
The first season was incredibly well received. Did that bring any pressure heading into season two for you and the cast?
I think moving forward with any show, I think there's definitely a little bit of pressure every season, just to kind of keep up the work that we've been making. But I think it was just for us a matter of making the show that we had already made, and being that we were so comfortable with each other after working together for a full year and for a full season. We all knew each other so well, and the writers all knew us even better than they did season one, and we had already been through a full season, so we all knew our characters that well, and you know, I think it just kind of was almost a little bit easier season two, just because we all just kind of knew the flow of the show. Season one was just kind of trying to figure out where the show was and where the flow was and kind of what the tone was and all that. And then now season two, it was almost just like being in a well-oiled machine. We knew what we were doing. We know our characters. We know each other. The writing was, you know, they make it so easy for us. Their writing is so darn good.
Yeah, you know, EJ has probably the biggest transformation in season one. How fun was that for you to play, and how will that impact the EJ we see in season two?
Yeah, no, it was super, super fun getting to play that. It was a little tough at times because there was a lot of times trying to kind of figure out in every moment where was EJ, like where was his head at and where was kind of the tone of EJ at. And I feel like that was something that, you know, did progress throughout season one and even more so into season two. He almost is, you know, a new version of himself. He's trying to kind of focus more on what's important to him, and I think he starts to realize that the group is super important to him, and that's really what matters. It's just the people around you, and you know, there's more to the world than just yourself, which I think sometimes in season one he kind of got caught up in focusing on how things affected him rather than how it affected other people. And so, you know, I've always said EJ's a really good guy and he wants the best for everybody, but season one was just a matter of him kind of going about things the wrong way. And I think season two, he kind of puts, you know, less pressure on trying to be this perfect person and more so just trying to really, really listen to other people and hear out other people and be there for other people.
He's got a lot of redeeming qualities that we see, and especially in episode 10. How early on did you know where his arc was going, and how did that change the way you approach the character?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like kind of halfway-ish through the season, maybe. I assume you're talking about season one, like going like
Yeah.
the arc through season one. Yeah, yeah. I feel like maybe like halfway-ish through, like three-quarters of the way through, it was almost like, um, you know, Tim always kind of sat us down individually and would kind of talk to us. Tim Federle, who created the show, always kind of sat us down and would talk to us about kind of where each character is at and where we're going and stuff like that, just to kind of help us out a little bit. And yeah, I mean, it definitely. I think the huge thing is just like playing EJ as this guy that is a good guy and comes across as misunderstood, or as, you know, some people see him as like a bad guy, which he's really not. He wants the best for everybody, but it was just a matter of he went about things the wrong way in season one, and it made him come across as this guy that's just out to, you know, get everybody. Um, and I think that's it. I think the big thing was just focusing on, as a full undertone, he's always been a good guy. He really truly does care with everything in him, and he wants the best for everybody. He's just so darn passionate about certain things that he's going to do whatever he can to make them happen. And I guess because of that, he gave a girl a bad deviled egg and got Nene the role. But yeah, no, he definitely is much more uh, easygoing in season two.
Yeah, there's so much incredible music that's in the first season. Is there a number that EJ wasn't a part of that you wish he was?
Ooh, great question. I'm trying to think of the numbers in season one. Um, I mean, I enjoyed everything that EJ was a part of. There was a little bit of no, because EJ was in most of that too. I don't know. I mean, I really, really enjoyed. I was gonna say a little bit of Truth Justice, like just in the beginning of
Mm.
like the Truth Justice, and saving Miss Jen, Kate Reinders, um, saving, you know, Miss Jen's job a little bit. But EJ was in that most of the time as well. So I don't think so. I think everything that he was in, I was really happy with, and I was happy to be a part of you know, what I was lucky enough to be a part of. I will say, Get Your Head in the Game is one that I was so excited to do, and you know, luckily EJ was in it, and it was, oh my gosh, I had so much fun with that. That was by far my favorite number from season one.
Which of EJ's relationships was your favorite to explore in season one, and has that changed heading into season two?
Yeah, I think, Josh and I are really close friends, and I consider the dude my best friend. And I think it was really fun season one, kind of getting to play the enemies butting heads almost, because it's always fun to get to hate your best friend. And as an actor, it's fun to get to kind of like play that. And I think heading into season two, there definitely still is that rivalry between the two of them, but also they are more willing to work together and help each other out. And I feel like there is a bit of a friendship coming for EJ and Ricky at some point. Hopefully that's soon. I would love to see it in a possible season three. I think a Ricky EJ friendship would be so much fun.
Yeah, you can tell that the cast got incredibly close throughout this process. If you had to describe each of your cast members in one word, what would it be?
Each of them individually. Okay, let me go down the line. Um, Olivia, sweet, super sweet. Sophia, goofy, one of the goofiest people I've ever met. Um, Josh, a mess, but in a good way, a good mess. Yeah, he's always just into something. Um, Julia, um, probably just I want to say iconic, but because I'm going to say iconic for Dara, because everything Dara says is iconic. It's just amazing. Julia, I'm going to say Julia is like very much so a sister vibe to me. So I'm just going to say like sisterly. She's like always there for you. Okay, so let's see. I have Dara, Julia, Sophia, Olivia, Josh. That's five. Frankie. Um, uh, I gotta say Queen for Frankie. He's gonna love that I'm saying that. So Queen for Frankie because he's the Queen. Um, Joe Smiley. Literally, I've never like not seen a smile on his face. Let's see who's left. Who am I forgetting? I know I've got
Uh,
Kate, Mark,
Larry.
Larry. Duh. Sorry, Larry. Larry is thoughtful. He's very thoughtful. He is always there for you, like almost like very much so like Julia. Like he's extremely thoughtful, and just wants the best for you. So that's eight. And then I'm gonna say Mark is just just gentle. He has got the softest like voice and softest speaking voice I've ever heard in my life. Everything whenever he comes into a room, I love this. Anytime he comes into a room, he'll be like, "Hey guys," and it's the most soft, well, like softly spoken, sweetest thing. And then Kate just just I don't even know. Kate's just everything. We'll say everything, and plus more. I mean, Kate is just amazing. She's hilarious. She's goofy. She's crazy. She is Miss Jen.
And we've seen a couple of your cast members go on to release their own original music. Can fans expect something similar from you?
Yeah, I would love to at some point in the future release my own music. There's a song that I'm trying to kind of work on right now. I want to write a song so bad, and I've talked to Josh and Olivia both a little bit about just kind of songwriting, and because they're both so extremely successful with theirs, and their music is so great. But them as well as everybody else in the cast have kind of gotten opinions and ideas from, and I think it's just a matter of time. It'll take some time for me because the lyrics are probably the hardest part. I've got a little bit of some melody and stuff like that going, but the lyrics are so hard for me. I've never been a great writer, and this is really shining through right now. I've got major writer's block whenever I'm trying to write a song. So hopefully, some point in the future, I would love to do some kind of music.
And then we just like to end all of our interviews with a pop culture speed round. Do you have a guilty pleasure
Yes,
TV show?
SpongeBob.
That's a great one. How about
Love
a
SpongeBob.
guilty pleasure movie?
Oh, I know this is a speed round, but Avatar, like the blue people, like Pandora and all that.
Favorite book?
Oh, I don't read a lot. I don't read at all. I'll just say the most recent book I've read, and that's Maze Runner.
Favorite play or musical?
Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, so good. A band or artist that fans would be surprised to learn is on your playlist.
uh, Probably Post Malone because I'm such a big country music lover, and I feel like
Oh,
everybody knows that I love country music, so most people just associate me with country. So maybe they wouldn't expect Post Malone.
what's your dream role?
I would love to do like hardcore action stuff at some point, like some kind of military movie or something like that would be a blast.
And then final question for you. Who would play you in the story of your life?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. Me and the story of my life. Um, I mean, listen, I was gonna say Tom Holland because like Tom Holland's great. We look nothing alike. He's older than me, so neither one of those would work. I mean, I don't really know actors that are younger than me that could play like growing up to him. I'm just, I don't know. I'm gonna say Tom Holland because I love Tom Holland. He's great.